Yo, we got another video from Galvikiyo. Is that how you say it, bro's name? I don't even know, but crazy thumbnail. What was it? Yeah, mobile games are not the same anymore. And I was like, all right, what do you mean? Let's see. Oh.
Oh my god!
Wait, actually? This is Silver Palace? Yeah, I never saw the trailer of it. I saw the gameplay player, but like, holy, that's brutal, bro.
Oh my god!
You know, there is something quietly fascinating happening in the gacha space right now. We are seeing a shift, not just in how these games are made, but how they are introduced to us. Wuthering Waves handing an exclusive reveal to Jeff Keighley, the Game Awards guy, isn't just a publicity.
I like how everyone just calls him the Game Awards guy, because it is true, he is just the Game Awards guy, but yeah.
It is a signal. Gacha game developers aren't aiming small anymore. They are
oh wait, bro's a VTuber? Oh. Hello.
Starting to treat their launches like a full-scale media events, putting them in the same level as Elden Ring trailers and Kojima cameos. And
I mean, that is true. I feel like nowadays gacha games have so much better trailers than like AAA games. I've seen gacha trailers that are so much better.
Now, with Silver Palace, we are seeing that same energy evolve. Tectone, who is known mostly in the gacha space, suddenly gets tapped to react live to a game nobody's even heard of. There is no teaser campaign, no leaks, no nothing on Twitter either. The Twitter account for Silver Palace before Tectone introduced it had no followers. I literally heard of it because Tectone posted, "I just saw this game and it might be the best gacha game ever, I would know. It is a gacha game made in China." It sounds chaotic, but it is actually one of the smartest launches I've seen in this genre. Tectone isn't a passive ambassador, he is the entry point. For a lot of us, he is probably the reason we even knew Silver Palace existed.
No, I knew Silver Palace before him because I saw the game trailer, but I feel like a lot of people did get into it. Yeah. Sure.
That is not random. Developers are finally starting to understand how attention works in this space. You don't need months of slow drip marketing when you can drop one well-timed gameplay bomb through the right content creator or celebrity. And based on the traction this got on Twitter and Reddit, it is working. People are curious, not just for the new gacha curiosity, right? But actual hype built off of impressions, not just ads. Which brings me to the game itself. Because let's talk about what we actually saw. There is no leaks, no closed beta signups, no data miners scrambling for Chinese APKs, just a cold drop gameplay footage. It is up on IGN, it is up on their YouTube.
I'm pretty sure once a game comes out, it will most likely have beta, and then whatever he said will become reality. There will be leaks, there will be data mining, there will be everything, but yeah, as of right now, there's nothing.
YouTube channel and the reactions flying around on social media and a live stream
on
their
their my video,
YouTube channel and the reactions flying around.
Yo, you should have put my video there. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm non-existent here, but I'm just saying.
Media and a live stream unfolding in real time. And weirdly, it didn't feel cheap. It didn't feel like we are rushing this out to get clicks. Because visually, Silver Palace looks cheap. It didn't feel like we are rushing this out to get clicks. Because visually, Silver Palace looks incredible. Not incredible for a gacha game.
Visually, it looks incredible. Even the combat looks crazy, but I'm worried about the compatibility / optimization. But obviously, this is like, I don't want to call it alpha footage, but because it looks like everything's functioning, looks like everything's polished, in at least in that sense. Definitely some form of beta. Let's call it alpha, whatever. They definitely need to optimize the game a lot, which makes sense. I don't know when they'll release it. It would be honestly crazy if this game came out in 2025. I would like to see more, what do we do in this game? You know, but I guess we'll get to see that more often. But like the trailer that I haven't watched, I've seen some of it from this video, and the gameplay combined, I am excited for this game. It looks dope. My genuine reaction to this game was mind blown. When you watch it, it might feel like fake reaction, but like it's truly, my mind was just blown.
Game, it is just incredible. The lighting, the world density, the way environments react when you move through them, none of it screams mobile first. It looks like something you would see at the end of a PlayStation showcase, which means
I honestly don't know how they're gonna put this in mobile. The phones will explode, bro.
Hey, good luck for mobile players out there. You're gonna need it. I mean, sure, right? Some of that is presentation. Cinematic camera work can make anything look good in a right angle Tectone's bald head would shine. But even when you strip away the editing, the core aesthetic feels deliberate. This wasn't a rushed vertical slice, it is a fully realized visual identity, and it has actual texture.
That's why I don't want to call it alpha, because alpha would be like it's just presenting something, but this actually looked kind of polished and kind of ready to be shipped, but it just needs a little bit of, not a little bit, it needs a heavy optimization thing.
And the weird part is, nobody saw this coming. Not even the usual information gatherers had a clue. In a genre where information is literally king, that is kind of interesting. I mean, it sets a tone. When your first impression is, wait, why does this look like a console RPG? You have already broken the ceiling most gacha games.
Oh, I want that character. When this game comes out, I'm gonna go all out for that character.
Are stuck under, and that shift, that is where the conversation really starts. The moment
a brand new company with a brand new game coming out, do we hear about it? Not just this game, right? Like there must have been so many games that have came out that we haven't known about. So I don't think it's like anything crazy that we didn't know about the game and just came out of the blue, but yeah.
Gameplay starts rolling, it is clear that this isn't another open field with grass and maybe a boar type of gacha world. The city
bro's definitely coding a specific game. Yeah, but yeah, I understand it. Oh my god. Yeah.
feels dense, like actually lived in. You've got trees that
the reason why game companies do the specifications that he said earlier is because they're targeting a different kind of audience where your device isn't that powerful. So while having less population, less density, less of basically a living, breathing world, you open up a brand new customer base where, you know, even lower end devices can handle your game, which, yeah. But then, yeah, this game, I don't know how low-end devices, even mid-tier devices will run. So they definitely will lose out on that chunk of the player base. But, I mean, it has to be calculated, right? It's especially a gacha game. They know what they're trying to do. And I guess we'll see. Maybe, you know, when they optimize everything, even a potato PC won't run, but maybe a mid-tier PC can run it like 30 FPS or something, but I guess we'll see.
Drop leaves when you fly through them. Did I mention that you could fly? We're gonna talk about that later. The buildings that aren't just backdrop filler, and the alley you could fly.
This thing is nothing crazy, by the way.
You've got trees that drop leaves when you fly through them. Did I mention?
That's nothing crazy, but it looks really cool. Not a lot of games in the gacha area do that, but like nothing crazy to do this, but it is really good when you implement it right.
Could fly? We're gonna talk about that later.
Flying one blew my mind.
That aren't just backdrop filler, and the alleyways that look like someone could actually inhabit them. There is a kind of environmental intentionality here that you rarely see in this genre. Not just, hey, this looks pretty, but it feels like this space was meant to be explored. And then there's this mounting system, which, let's be honest, could have easily been a gimmick, but it's not. You've got this sleek, ice-themed horse with customizable parts, and
that looks sick though. Like the other thing that I'm hoping, it's like a nitpick. We don't really need it. I would like to drive cars. We don't need it, but
sure,
it would be
looks cool.
Because they showed it in the trailer, you can like, you know, they're riding cars, but I think it's just for the trailer. But it would be sick if we could ride cars.
But more importantly,
we don't really need it, but you know, because we have a drifting horse. But yeah,
it actually changes how you move through the world because you can drift, you can fly, and there is no.
Depending on the gear you have on your horse, maybe your horse will react differently. So I don't know, artifacts you had to put in to drift, or like maybe you can't drift more, but you get more speed if you put this artifact. Oh, that'd be kind of
stamina meter choking the fun out of it. Like when you look through the gameplay here, right, there is no stamina bar. That detail alone puts it leagues about what other gacha game.
Yeah, fuck stamina bars, bro. That's, oh my gosh, so inconvenient. So it's realistic in the beginning and you're like, oh, sick, but then when you want to climb a mountain for the billionth time, oh my god, is it like so bad? Stamina
is doing right now. It is the kind of traversal design we usually expect in a full price JRPG.
Like, there are aspects of reality we need in a game, but then there are also aspects of reality we don't want in a game, which will handicap us. So, yeah.
Or a Western open world
I had
game. It
another
is not a
ad. Oh
common
my
thing in
God.
free-to-play games with banners and a gacha system under the hood. And it keeps going. There is rail grinding, rooftop movement.
I mean, there's nothing crazy, but it's a nice, what do you say? It's a nice quality of life improvement you could.
Your
Yeah,
cosmic telekinesis.
yeah, that was cool.
It all just works. None of it feels like padding out the demo. It is baked into the way the game wants you to interact with its world. Even combat leans into that same momentum. There is a parry system that is multi-directional, which already gives it more nuance than most turn-based or cooldown heavy systems we see nowadays. You've got this sort of spidey sense visual cue when the enemies are about to attack you, and if you react right, you get rewarded with these ultra clean counters. Add in the flashy finishers that don't break the flow, and
I'm gonna be honest, the camera feels very weird because I think maybe it's because I'm used to having the character in the middle, having a little bit of space behind them, you know, maybe that's why I feel weirded out. But
most turn-based or cooldown heavy
but maybe once you play the game and you get used to it, you will like it.
systems we see nowadays. You've got this sort of spidey sense visual cue when the enemies are about to attack you, and if you react right, you get rewarded with these ultra clean counters. Add in the flashy finishers that don't break the flow and instead toss you right back into the exploration. Yeah, that is the kind of loop that can keep people hooked without needing to grind dailies just to feel like they're progressing. Now, mechanically, the game is leaning into some interesting choices. It runs a 4-character party system, more in line with Genshin than something like Wuthering Waves, and you can see that the switch-ins feel a little bit slower by comparison. It is not really a deal breaker. Wuthering Waves kind of ruined every other game's swap speed for me anyway, so the bar is a little bit skewed. But what Silver Palace brings
like Wuthering Waves switching is like instant. It's like really fast and quick. Like you have indoor skills, outdoor skills, and it's really cool. And it's okay if a game doesn't implement it, obviously. It just needs to be somewhat smooth.
Instead of versatility, characters aren't locked into one weapon type, and you can see it. In the video, you see a sword user just casually pulling out a gun mid-combo like it's a normal fight.
I feel like every character has sort of melee attack. Yeah, because this girl has sword, and then she also has a gun. So maybe every single character has like a melee weapon, and then also a gun.
Like build variety, maybe even role hybrids if the
or maybe it's like, you know, you can have 2 weapons and then there are like multiple, so maybe sword, gun, I don't know, spear, claymore, or whatever you call the big sword. Maybe, right? Maybe
devs decide to lead.
We don't have a lot of info on this game, right? So yeah.
Into that. It is also worth mentioning the stealth mechanics, which I did not expect. Most gacha games treat stealth like a tutorial segment that never shows up again. And here, you are sneaking around, taking out enemies from behind, even interrogating them Arkham style. What?
My first impression of this game was I was confused. Is this a gacha? Because the only way I could tell it was a gacha is because I saw elements of gacha. It was like, oh, that looks like a wishing section. Like you have 4 characters, you're kind of swapping. Although that doesn't really, you know, mean it's a gacha. And I was really confused if it was a gacha or not. Because when in my reaction to it, I was like, is this a gacha? I'm not too sure. It has to be a gacha, right? Maybe? Is it? Like I was so confused. That's how different it is from other gachas. That's saying something like that.
One scene literally looks like Batman is shaking down a grunt for intel, except it's anime, and you're doing it in a futuristic city instead of Gotham. And yeah, it is very obviously inspired, but it works. And more importantly, it feels like part of a broader design philosophy. This isn't just another gacha with a cool combat. It is a game that wants to play with genre conventions and mix systems that normally never get to exist in mobile-first titles. One thing that doesn't get talked about enough, especially in the gacha games, is sound. Not just the music, but the full sensory design. In Silver Palace, it is clear that the audio team didn't just clock in to fill space. The music has actual range. You've got the soft, laid-back cafe ambience when you're in the quieter areas, and then when the boss fight hits, it doesn't just swap tracks, it builds up to something intense that starts blaring the moment one hilichurl sneezed on you. It escalates. It gives tension. Like the game understands pacing, not just visually, but sonically too. And then there's the voice acting, which is shockingly good. I have been burned enough times by awkward English dubs in the space that I usually go in with low expectations. But here, there is nuance. The characters sound like real people. Intonation, timing, even delivery during action scenes.
I haven't really seen that. Maybe bro's talking about the trailer, but trailer was trailer, right? I don't know, but maybe.
all lands without veering
I haven't watched the trailer, so I don't really know.
into uncanny territory. No weird localization energy. No meme tier delivery. No blandness. Just solid, believable performances. The world doesn't just look full, it sounds full. And that kind of layering is usually reserved for games with 5 times the budget. It is kind of weird to say this out loud, but Silver Palace plays like a game that actually respects your time, which in Gacha is almost unheard of. First
We don't know a lot of the games, right? So saying like it respects our time and things like that, I think it's a stretch. Cause like we don't know the gameplay loop. We don't know what content it brings. We don't know if it actually wastes our time or not. We don't have a lot of info. So saying like respects our time, I think it's a stretch. But maybe it's just me. But yeah.
of all, like I said, there is no stamina during traversal. You don't get 10 seconds of sprint before your character has to pant and recover like they just finished a marathon. You can explore at your pace. Ride a horse to the old town road. Drift with it. You can fly with it. And then you can rail grind through the city. It is smooth. It is fast. It is fun. What is refreshing is that these movement options don't feel like...
I think we have to see more of the game. It looks good. I'm not saying it's bad, but I honestly feel like we need to see more of the content that it provides. So he's talking about how free the exploration is. Yeah, that is
refreshing.
True.
Is that these movement options
sense.
don't feel like a way to gatekeep content. They're just there as tools. You don't need to wait 5 minutes to climb a hill. It is the kind of open-ended freedom most gacha games pretend to offer, but rarely deliver. It looks like the enemy AI also deserves a shout out. They don't just stand around waiting to get comboed into next week. They attack, they push back, and yeah, sometimes they even win maybe with my kind of skill, which is kind of a miracle considering how many gacha enemies go down in 2 hits just to make your DPS feel good. But the best part, it doesn't just feel like a button masher. The stealth mechanics give you options.
Yeah, I really hate when games first seem like super fun, but then eventually it comes to a point where it's just a punching bag, right? You just gotta press left click, E, Q like a billion times until the enemy dies, and the enemy's not really gonna do anything, Like, I personally, this is what I want. I want like mechanics where the boss is gonna fuck me up, and if I don't do this right, I am dead. Like, there needs to be some form of danger, right? Because you're fighting an enemy, right? If you don't pay attention, you are gonna get fucked. So yeah, maybe it's just me, right? Maybe I want some difficulty in my games, but I do understand some people are there just to chill. That's totally fine. Maybe have I don't know, difficulty something, I guess. Easy mode, difficult mode, whatever.
You want to sneak in and neutralize a guard instead of rushing in loud, you can go for it. There is a feedback system too, like that spider sense yellow pulse thing, right? Giving you a proper heads up to parry or reposition. It is smart design. It rewards you for paying attention, not just animation canceling your way through. So yeah, it is not reinventing the wheel, but it is definitely giving players more control and more respect than what we have come to expect from the genre. But with that being said, this game is not perfect yet, because for one, it is clearly not optimized. Even in the polished footage, you can catch the frame drops and micro
I won't call this a polished footage because polished footage would not have any of micro stuttering or like feeling of 30 FPS. Polished footage would be better. I feel like this was mostly just to show, hey, we have this game here. It's not fully ready yet. We're still working on it, but we just wanted to show the world that this is possible, this is happening, and to build up some hype, right? And yeah, I think they achieved that. I think that is what that trailer was.
Starters, when too much is happening on the screen, there is visual lag during the traversal, lighting inconsistencies. It is kind of a small thing, but enough to remind you that this isn't release ready. And assuming that this is the best case recording setup, right? The developers are using their PCs, that says a lot. Party switching is also kind of janky, especially if you're coming straight from Wuthering Waves, where the swaps feel like buttery smooth and immediate. Here,
again, this is thinking that this is the final footage, which I'm pretty sure it's not. Like I already said, right? This is generally a hype building trailer, which doesn't really indicate any of the final product. I'm not saying that they will fix it, or I'm not saying that they won't fix it. I'm just saying that we don't really know if it's supposed to be more smoother or if this is just like a bug they're facing, right? I mean, right now, yeah, it does seem a little bit janky, but again, we still saw so many stuttering, we saw so many lagging and 30 FPS feeling, It's not like those are also gonna be in the game, right? They obviously will try try to fix it at least.
Here there is a noticeable delay, which is pretty outdated in the big 2025. It is okay once or twice, but it breaks the flow. It is not a deal breaker, but it might wear thin fast. And the biggest wild card is the monetization. We have zero information on how the gacha actually works. You know, what are the rates, the pity, the progression bottlenecks? None of that's been revealed, and we have all seen what happens when a promising game gets kneecapped by an exploitative economy. They announced EOS 3 months in. The hype can only carry you so far when every other poll feels like gambling with your dignity. And right now, it is all still in Chinese. The mechanics might change, the system might be locked behind features we haven't seen yet. It is exciting, but also a giant asterisk. The bigger picture is that this isn't just about Silver Palace. Whether or not Silver Palace delivers in the long run almost doesn't matter. The more interesting part is what it signals about where the genre is going. Because for the longest time, gacha launches follow the script: announce on Twitter, release a cinematic trailer with no gameplay, throw some money at sponsored reviews, and hope that the people bite, and then ghost them for years like a Nanta, like Azure Premilia. Oh yeah, keep ghosting us, guys. But now we are watching an entire community shift their attention in real time because of smart targeted drops. Jeff Keighley getting Wuthering Waves reveals, Tectone reacting live to a game that hadn't been even named. That is not chaos, that is strategy. The devs are starting to get it. They don't need a booth at E3. They don't need $1 million ad campaign. They just need to show the game as it is and have someone who actually cares about the space help carry that message. Silver Palace might not be the next big thing, but it doesn't have to be. It is proof that this medium isn't standing still anymore, and the players are finally being treated like they know the difference between marketing fluff and real substance. But that is all from me, Glaivekiyo, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!
I think his general idea of this video was that gacha games are kind of evolving, and then it also bled into Silver Palace stuff too, and a few of the Silver Palace stuff that bro was mentioning. See, you know, it's a little bit too hyped up, but yeah, whatever. It's a good video. His main point is that you know, gacha games are evolving, and that is true. That is what the real point of this video is. Yeah, that was good. I think let's see what the comments. Bruh, Baldy is here. Honored to be my favorite gacha CC's video. Though, yeah, break the rules and also break your potato device. That's very true. Yeah, that was a good video. W video, nice video. Gacha games are indeed evolving. If you like the video, give it a like. If you dislike the video, dislike it and sub. You know, sub if you want. Yeah, have a good day. Sayonara, blow. I'll see you in the next one.